Do you know, Yusufzai had once said that in most parts of the world, when a girl is born, her wings are cut off because she is judged for not being able to fly. That is not fair, right? Similarly, when a student is not provided with equal learning opportunities, the society is to be blamed, not the students, right? So, is technology the problem behind the so-called digital divide? When rural students were asked the challenges they faced during the pandemic, majority of the students reported that they couldn't afford phone credit and internet data. Not only that, rural students have lower levels of intrinsic motivation, learning self-efficacy, and parental support in learning during pandemic compared with their urban peers. Another fact, 98% of rural teachers claim that they enjoy teaching. However, they spend little time in the classroom because they spend more time in planning lessons, grading, and other administrative work, which causes them to burn out. So teachers and students, especially in rural areas, if you are watching this, we're coming to help you. When rural students were asked what are the resources they needed to learn during the pandemic, majority of them reported that they needed access to internet. So one of the compelling solutions we found to this problem is to innovate a customizable artificial intelligence robot. No coding or Wi-Fi is needed because all you have to do is just download the app, connect your phone or desktop to the AI robot using your Bluetooth connection. So you use the app as a controller and tell the robot what to do. So what does our AI exactly do? It can project or present any types of digital learning materials without relying on internet connection. Our AI also enables teachers to customize the lesson plans in the app itself. The robot will comprehend and digest the lesson to assist teachers in delivering the lesson and provide appropriate feedback to the students. It can also grade and report students' written assignments and propose personalized lessons for each student based on their competency level. You may wonder, how is this even possible? Prior to class, teachers can import downloaded videos which are saved in their phones or desktop and then connect it to the Bluetooth. So during lesson, teachers can simply project the lesson by clicking on these features, such as play, resume, and stop button, which controls the robot. You may also wonder, how can the teacher even customize the instruction? Teachers can create lessons in the app itself by stating the learning objectives, a lesson structure, and most importantly, to state the role of AI teachers and students. Or even, teachers can even upload additional resources, which can help the robot to comprehend the lesson and assist teachers in delivering the lessons only if it's needed. Teachers can also click on demo to check how does the AI actually work before using it in the classroom. For instance, the robot could also ask questions like, hey students B, you look so lost. Do you understand what this diffusion of innovation means? Which teacher doesn't feel pleased when there is someone to help them in grading the students' work? Well, our robot could do that. Teachers can simply get students to show their written work in front of the robot scanner. Our AI can then check, calculate scores, and generate students' report. It doesn't only assist students' work, it can also recommend personalized lessons for students based on their competency level.
Now, why should you consider our AI robot? First, because having this BogAIRobo to have digital learning in rural area is not a dream anymore. You don't have to rely on the internet connection anymore. It also means that all of the students can be provided with equal learning opportunities. Secondly, it is also user-friendly because we don't need coding or having difficulties to understand the program because our BogAIRobo is using web-based instruction, so you can adjust as easy as planning the learning as usual. Thirdly, BogAIRobo can reduce the teacher's work hours. They don't need to work more than 13 hours outside the class, so they can focus more on the core tasks. And lastly, BogAIRobo can personalize lesson for each subject. It can be generally used for all of the teachers in rural school. The educational institution don't need to spend a lot of money to buy one robot for one subject. Now, this is our plan on our innovation and diffusion. From January until March 2023, we will propose to conduct a BogAIRobo project and try to communicate with some AI robot production and experts. We'll try to find some companies that would like to invest and collaborate on this AI robot. After that, in the April until December 2023, we will do the collaboration with the companies and institutions that agree to collaborate. We're planning everything to make sure that this innovation not only can help, but also can be commercialized. In January until August 2024, the companies and us will design and produce the prototype, conduct the trial before finally we will show our BogAIRobo to the public. After that, on August until December 2024, we will advertise BogAIRobo through some workshop, robot exhibition, social media, and so on and so forth. And lastly, we will have the mass production and getting the reaction from the public. We will produce and distribute the BogAIRobo from 2000. And what and how do we market this BogAIRobo? We will share our ideas with both internal and external channels. We'll propose our idea about BogAIRobo through supervised control and additional control under UPN and Muniandy, because this is a collaboration between two universities and also two countries. Meanwhile, for the external channels, we will have both the Ministry of Education in Malaysia and also Indonesia as the institution that handle the regulation in educational sectors. We're also going to propose Hanson Robotics to collaborate, as we know that they have produced some human-like AI robot, and also they must have the big market of human like AI robot, which we can also get the advantage of it. And lastly, we will introduce the BogAIrobo through some informal control, such as exhibition and event for robot conference and also social media. After proposing our idea about BogAIrobo, we'll try to persuade them using pitching video and the research proposal, so they will have more visualization on what we are trying to propose. The third step is we will see their decision, whether they will adopt or they will reject. If they adopt it, BogAIrobo will do the implementation in both small scope in rural school and also large scope through the e-commerce and robotic market. Lastly, we will get the confirmation from the feedback and also the suggestion for the future improvement. And this confirmation is important to see the public perception, attitude, and also the rate of adoption of BogAIrobo before the mass production. So, is this BogAIrobo worth investing in? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we can see here that your investment will be wasted because the demand for AI robot will be increasing through the years. Thus, it will be worth to invest in BogAIrobo as the profits also are increasing. So, what are you waiting for? For the government and companies that would like to have project on rural school, grab and invest on our BogAIrobo, actualize the imagination with cooperation, and fulfill the educational needs in rural area with BogAIrobo.